Now you've made it weird.
It was science, I must know.
You took it too far. Hey, it's Josh and Kristie stealing the internet. Today we're going to be playing Would You Rather.
All right, lay it on me.
Would you rather scream at full volume whenever you speak, or run at full speed whenever you need to travel by foot?
Okay, screaming instead of talking, I would just stop talking because that's extremely obnoxious and annoying. And I don't think I could stand myself. I'd be like, I would have to take a whiteboard around with me and be writing instead of talking because I ain't dealing with screaming all the time. Also, that would hurt your throat. But running at full speed every time you have to go, you would get extremely in shape, first of all. But it would be exhausting and people would give you weird looks. Not that they wouldn't give you weird looks when you're scream speaking, but like people would be like, where's the fire? And what is she running from?
Grocery shopping would be really awkward.
Oh, yeah. Get out of the way! Because people are just standing in the middle of the aisle. I do still think I would go with running everywhere, though. I'd be so in shape. I'd just spit.
I think I would also go with running, just because then you can at least sit and be a normal person.
Yeah.
You would almost need a wheelchair.
Yeah.
But no, I like the idea of just sprinting everywhere, like sprinting into the car. You get things done so much faster.
Yeah, you really would. Ooh, but that would be hard for me at work, because sometimes I'm like carrying some samples that are carefully layered and like liquid layered, and if you shake them too much, it messes up the sample because the layers combine. I could not run because I'm always walking so careful with those samples, right?
Would you rather know how you die or when you die?
I think I'd rather know when I die, because that you can like plan for it then. If you know how you die, that doesn't necessarily tell you like how to plan for it or anything. And then also if it's like you die in a car accident, well, I'm like, well, I'm never getting in a car again.
Right.
And that messes up your life, Whereas if you know when, you just like, easy, free, easy breezy until you hit that point.
I agree. I definitely want when, not how, because there's too many variables in how, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can't change it either way. So, if I know I'm gonna die via some sort of blue whale, now I can try to avoid the ocean. It's gonna turn up. Somehow a blue whale is gonna turn up. It's gonna fall from the sky. But either way, you are functionally immortal until that happens, right?
Yeah.
I can do the craziest things. Although, your date might move up a little if that's your logic behind it. The date they tell you might be a little earlier.
Is it absolutely guaranteed I won't die until, like, they tell you 60 years? I'm like, I'm guaranteed I won't die till 60 years.
Yeah.
I'm going to go jump off this cliff.
Yeah, you are guaranteed not to die for 60 years, or you are guaranteed not to die until that grizzly bear gets you. Okay. Now, quality of life, that's up in the air.
Good point. Maybe I'm not jumping off a cliff. Okay. I'm going with when. I'd like to know when so I can plan appropriately and like plan out my life. It's nice to know like I have this set amount of time.
Yeah.
So don't need to save for retirement. That's nice or whatever.
So yeah, that would make things a lot easier.
Yeah, it'd make it so much easier to budget your money if you knew when you were going to die.
Mm-hmm. Would you rather have a magic van that can teleport you anywhere you want and time travel anywhere you want, or a magic ring that when it touches a book, you absorb all the knowledge inside?
I think the magic ring, because I already read a lot of books. This would save me a lot of time, and I'm a homebody. I don't want to go anywhere. I would like to be very knowledgeable. Thank you very much.
Maybe if you got the magic van, you could travel far enough into the future that they've invented the magic ring.
You can just buy it. Yeah. I can put a computer in my head and download any information I want.
Yeah. That's how the Borg happens. You want the Borg to happen, Kristie? You know what the Borg is? No.
I'm assuming some sort of cyborg. Is it a specific one, though?
It's the Star Trek ones.
I don't watch Star Trek, so okay.
Yeah, that's a commitment to...
I know, it just seems there's so many Star Treks. Where do I start? And it's going to take me forever to get through them all.
I think you start with We don't need to get into Star Trek starting
Okay.
points. I was just about to go into it. Well, I would probably start with the
Original.
Picard ones, right? You want to start with Picard.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to go all the way back to original. That's boring. You really want the guy in the rubber lizard suit? No, you want at least 90s level technology.
Okay. But then you're missing out on lore.
Nah, you're fine. Would you rather be able to turn sand into water or air into sand? And then it says under that, you could kill so many people either way.
Oh. Do I want either of those? Not really. Sand into water. Oh, I mean, that's good in a desert. But how often am I in a desert? Water. Sorry, what the other one? Air into...
Sand into water or air into sand?
Air into sand? What would I even use that for? What do I want sand for besides killing people?
Apparently that's his whole premise. Is
I don't want to kill people, so I don't want that one. I guess sand into water, so if I'm ever trapped in a desert, I won't die. But if I go into construction, I can make a lot of money selling sand.
I guess so, yeah. You could have a sand delivery business where you just go and sand.
I don't know. Neither of these sound like great superpowers, if I'm gonna be honest.
You go to the desert and you sell water to people. Or you go to any place there's air and make sand. You know, you can kill so many people, Kristie, either way.
I don't want to kill people. I guess I am picking the air into sand and then opening up a sand selling business, and I'm just gonna make Home Depot and Lowe's buy all my sand and get rich.
If you had to live in a cage for the rest of your life, would you rather the bars be horizontal or vertical?
Ooh, okay. Normally when you see a prison cell, the bars are vertical. But if they were horizontal, you could climb them like a ladder. It's like a jungle gym then. Thinking if there's like no door in the cage, how are they getting food into you? You'd want the horizontal one so they could slide a pizza through to you without like turning the pizza and all the cheese and toppings fall off.
That's actually one of the top comments. Is if it was vertical, the pizza would have to be turned vertically too when passed in, so that wouldn't work. But any drinks would also have to be turned when the bars are horizontal. So you can say bye-bye to the perfect cocktails right there.
Oh, yeah, okay, that would mess up cocktails. But I'm thinking, like, normal drinks, like, you don't care if it gets mixed around. Just put it in a bottle and seal it, and then you turn it sideways and shove it through the horizontal bars. But, yeah, like, the cocktails that are really fancy with the layering and stuff, that would mess it up if you really would. Them. But I don't drink those. So I'd rather have a pizza passed through.
I feel like you're not living your best life in this cage, Kristie. You could have some nice cocktails in those tall, thin glasses.
Yeah, I'm thinking horizontal is the way to go, but I feel like my brain might get annoyed by that because that is not how most.
You're a traditionalist.
I am a traditionalist, and my brain would be like, "This is wrong." And yeah, I don't know if I would like to stare at horizontal bars all day, but I still think I'm gonna go horizontal. I would climb them like a ladder in a little jungle gym.
Would you rather climb the tallest mountain, travel to the bottom of the sea?
Oh, absolutely not the bottom of the sea. There are terrifying horrors down there. But also climb the tallest mountain sounds like so much work. I don't want to climb Everest. There's dead people up there.
Yeah.
There's like 200 dead bodies on the top of Everest. I don't want to go up there.
I'm going to argue there's more dead bodies at the bottom of the sea.
Oh, probably.
Maybe not, because there's like worms that eat bones down there. So...
There's more living horrors down at the bottom of the sea, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to go down there. Also, do I get a flashlight or anything if I go down there? Maybe I don't want a flashlight if I go down there, because then I would have to see the horrors down there. Would I rather be in blindness and ignorance is bliss? I do not want to go to the bottom of the sea. The sea terrifies me.
That's fair. The sea terrifies you. I mean, it does not say your ability to make it back either way.
Oh, yeah. Okay, wait. Climb? Does it say specifically climb the tallest mountain?
Climb the tallest mountain, travel to the bottom of the sea.
Okay. If I climb the tallest mountain, I have to do all that work myself. That is a lot of physical effort.
That is.
Travel to the bottom of the sea sounds like I'm getting put in a submarine and I just have to sit there. Ooh, I need more information, Josh. Is it guaranteed I'm getting back?
Let's say yes.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're just choosing how you want to die.
Guaranteed I'm getting back. I'm gonna go bottom of the sea because I'm lazy. Climbing a mountain sounds so much work.
I mean, several people can say they've climbed the tallest mountain, but no one can say they've been to the bottom of the sea.
Also that, yeah. That is so, I don't want to do either. It's so hard.
I'm going to skip to this one just because you mentioned you don't want to see the horrors down there, so you're debating about not bringing a light.
Yeah.
You'll be locked in a room full of spiders for some amount of time. Would you rather have the lights on or off?
What kind of spiders?
You'll know if the lights are on.
Ooh, if it's little jumping spiders, I am totally cool with being in a room with little jumping spiders. That would be fun. I would have so many new friends. Black widows, not as fun. A lot more deadly. I'm gonna go with lights on either way.
Okay.
I want to see what kind of spiders they are so I can avoid them. So that if they're cute little Phidippus jumping spiders, I can see and not accidentally squash my new friends. But if they're black widows, I can stomp on all of them and avoid getting them on me. I need to see what's going on and which spiders I need to kill and which ones are friends.
So when it's spiders in a room, you want lights on so you can see the spiders. But when it's unspeakable horrors at the bottom of the ocean, you don't want to know about those.
Okay, you know what? I can kill a spider. Unspeakable horrors at the bottom of the ocean, I probably cannot kill some of them. They might be very big. So there's nothing I can do. I would ignorance is bliss, rather not know.
Yeah. You don't look upon Cthulhu.
No!
He drives you mad.
You do not look upon Cthulhu, you do not look upon the Kraken.
Yeah, don't bring a light down to the bottom of the ocean and wake up the Kraken. That's how the world ends.
You're gonna attract everybody down there if you have a light too. But yeah, I want a light with the spiders so that I can see which ones need squashed.
That's top comment. Lights on, spiders are pretty chill to be honest, and I'll be able to swat and or squash any assholes.
Yeah.
And then I like this next comment. How full are we talking? Like, oh shit, there's a lot of spiders in here? Or, oh shit, that's the sound when you try to open your mouth in a room literally filled to the brim with spiders.
No, I don't want no. I was assuming just, oh shit, that's a lot of spiders. Drowning in spiders, that's, I guess lights off if you're drowning in spiders.
At a certain fullness, it doesn't matter if the lights are on or not, because the spiders are going to block out the light. Would you rather be able to eat anything you want and have it be perfect nutrition, or have to only sleep 1 hour a day and be fully rested?
This is tough. Both of those sound really good. See, I need more information on this one, too. Is it I can eat whatever I want and as much as I want and it's perfect nutrition? Or do I still have to only eat 2,000 calories a day?
I assume that it's no matter what you eat, it's your body will be perfectly nourished.
And then the other one is you only need to sleep 1 hour a day.
Uh-huh.
Is it you only can sleep 1 hour a day? Or can you sleep more than that if you want to? Because sometimes I use sleep as just an escape.
I mean, you'll be fully rested. So if you'll be laying in bed being like, I'm not at all tired.
I still think I'm going to go with 1 hour sleep a day fully rested. That gives me an extra. I sleep a lot. Chronically ill. Always tired. Sleep a lot. I sleep 10 hours a day.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes 12 on the weekend. So that would give me an extra 9 hours a day that I could cook healthy, delicious food and exercise.
Okay.
And it says you will be fully rested.
Yes.
I have not felt fully rested in 20 years. So, you know what? I think I'm going with that because that sounds wonderful.
That sounds like a novel experience.
It does.
I think I am the opposite. I want to be able to eat a bag of potato chips for dinner and not have that kick me in the butt later.
But you would have extra time to exercise. I don't know. Being able to eat whatever you want does sound wonderful, but I really think fully rested sounds so much better.
See, I know myself, and with the extra 9 hours of 7 to 9 hours a day, I am not going to get on that treadmill.
True. I wouldn't either. I'm just going to get fat.
Right? So no, I want perfect nutrition.
I would spend that extra 9 hours a day just reading.
Yeah, laying in bed anyways and reading.
Yeah. But think how many more books a year I could read if I had that extra 9 hours a day.
Uh-huh. Would you rather have an extra arm or an extra leg?
An extra arm? Would having an extra leg even help you run faster? I'm not sure if it would, and do I really need to run faster? There's no scenario really where I run and need to run fast in my life. An extra arm would be very handy. Sometimes when I'm trying to French braid my hair, an extra arm would be so helpful.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where an extra leg isn't just in the way.
Yeah.
An extra arm, assuming that these both function perfectly, right?
Yes.
And let's say somehow the leg is there where it's not just in the way. You somehow have a third functional leg. I don't think it's going to make you that much faster.
No, I don't think it would. And you would you have 2 butt cracks? I'm so confused about how this leg
Now
works.
you've made it weird. But I assume you just have some sort of triple butt cheek underneath. No, we're not putting this in the video. We're not describing butts.
I really want to know. How does the extra leg affect your butt?
You took it too far. It
But
was
science, I must know.
it was fun, and then you're like, but how do you poop? Nobody likes the how do they poop cat dog person.
How does cat dog poop? They have no butthole and 2 mouths. Okay. Anyways, but also, where does your extra arm go? I assume, like, under your dominant arm. You don't want, like, another one coming out of your chest. You want to be like Machamp, where you got, like, arms on top of each other, right?
Not if I'm gonna be lopsided. I want it coming out of the back of my spine, so it's like a scorpion arm.
Like, reach up over your head and Okay, that's weird.
I mean, it's weird no matter where you put it, right?
I think I want it under one of my other arms.
Nope, it's gotta be center of back or center of chest.
I guess I'm going center of chest. Sorry, I'm messing up the cleavage.
Would you rather own a rhino the size of a hamster or a hamster the size of a rhino?
A hamster the size of a rhino is terrifying. Have you seen hamsters? They just grab anything
I know,
and
right?
shove it into their pouches. You would end up in your hamster's pouch.
You would.
And it would be... That sounds terrifying. I do not like that. I do not like hamster pouches. They're already freaky. And if it is giant and can fit you inside of it, it'd just be going around putting everything... Also...
I don't trust a hamster that size, no.
I know. Having a hamster that big, you'd have giant hamster poos you would have to dispose of. Whereas having a rhino the size of a hamster is tiny poos. Little tiny rhino, little tiny poos. Much easier to take care of. I'm going with a rhino the size of a hamster. That would be so cute. And not terrifying.
Right, I agree.
That was an easy one.
That was a very easy one. I want the little rhino. It's cute. It's not going to be a terrifying thing.
In Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, did they ever run into like a... They had like ants and stuff. Did they ever run into... The dog?
The
They ran
dog?
into the dog.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie in decades.
I haven't
so
either, so
that's
I don't
a tough
remember it
one.
very
But
well,
no, I assume I would be terrified of the ant. The fact they managed to tame an ant is already a miracle.
Yeah.
No, I feel like a rodent like a hamster is only easy to handle because it's small.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, a large rhino-sized rodent is terrifying.
Yeah. Would you rather eat 10 gallons of cookie dough or 10 gallons of ice cream? You're only allowed to eat your choice and drink water until your choice is gone.
Oh, 10 gallons of ice cream. First of all, I don't really like cookie dough. It's got a weird texture.
Mm-hmm.
So ice cream, I could eat ice cream all day, though. I feel like in college, I did eat ice cream all day. They had the soft serve ice cream machines, like, in the cafeteria. Oh, man, I would just go down and get ice cream several times a day.
I've never been the type of person to just eat cookie dough, like, by the spoonful.
Yeah.
You know, you grab a little and eat it, and I'm like, oh, it's cookie dough. But no, I'd rather you cooked it first.
I actually don't like cookie dough, and that's really weird because I'm a huge sweets person, but
Uh-huh.
I do not like cookie dough.
Hmm.
Like, I would rather not eat it.
Yeah, no, I definitely want the ice cream.
Yeah, I definitely want the ice cream too. Easily could eat, what was it, 10 gallons?
10 gallons.
I mean, that might take me a few days, and I can't eat anything else till it's done, and that is A-okay with me.
Yeah, you don't even need the water.
I am a huge fan of ice cream.
Don't need the water. The ice cream has it in there.
Yeah.
Would you rather burp so loud it could set off a car alarm?
Yes.
Or be able to fart and set a delayed timer on the smell?
Ooh. I do think burping so loud you set off a car alarm is extremely impressive. I would be showing off that skill all the time.
Uh-huh.
But being able to set a delayed timer on your toot smells is very, very useful.
That's useful in a lot of scenarios. Like,
Yeah.
not embarrassing yourself on a date and getting the best revenge on people.
Ooh, yeah.
Just
okay.
If you go into their bedroom and just fart 20 times and set all the delays in one spot, or stagger it throughout the day, make them think there's something wrong with their sewage line.
Yeah. Okay, problem being with that is I cannot fart on demand.
You got time. You can set all these delays for 6 months from now. No one will suspect you.
Yeah, I do feel like the just burping so loud is just a party trick. Like, cool once, and then everybody has seen it, you know.
Everybody's like,
and then
my
they're like,
God, Kristie.
Yeah, it's cool once, and then everybody gets super annoyed with you when you pull that cool party trick
and
again.
Then they all gotta find their keys and turn off their car alarms. Like, come on, Kristie.
So yeah, cool once, but that's about it. I'm definitely going with the delayed stink on the farts.
Yeah, I agree. It gets you out of any awkward social situation in an elevator.
Oh yeah.
And then you set the delay for when someone else is in that elevator.
Yeah.
Destroy someone else's day. I would only be using this for malicious purposes.
Yeah, I feel like I would have like the one person I don't like, I would set my life goal to make everybody think that they are extremely gassy.
Yeah.
Give them the reputation of, oh, so-and-so the farter. And I'd be like, yes, yeah. My evil plan has worked.
Every time you fart, you save it for that room. Set it so it's constant fart for days on end a year from now. Be petty, internet. Would you rather gain 100 pounds of fat or lose 15 inches of height? Either condition would be permanent.
Ooh, 15 inches of height. So that would take me from like 5'8" to 4'5". That's so short. But 100 pounds is quite a lot. That's like, feels like it'd be uncomfortable.
100 pounds of body fat, that's a lot to gain.
Yeah.
But also that's a lot of height. You no longer be the tall person at work.
I know, I am the tall person at work, and I put stuff on the top shelf and nobody else can reach it, and I have to come back later and pull it down for other people, and I would be the person that'd be like, can you get that for me? Uh-huh. And I don't think this is hard. I think, especially since I'm a girl, being short isn't as big of a bad, you know.
Socially, like, social perception of...
Yes. I think since I'm a girl, being short is not as negatively socially perceived.
You don't want me as a short king?
I would still love you as a short king. I would still love you as a fat king. But,
Is that what, maybe chubby king is the word?
Chubby
What's
king?
the word for that? I don't know.
I don't know. Is my fluffy king. But I think I would go for being shorter.
I think I would gain the weight, but I also read the top comment to this, so it really swayed my decision.
Okay, what's the top comment?
I'd be an absolute unit, but I calculated my approximate BMI in both situations, and it was significantly lower to take the 100 pounds.
Oh, you don't lose any weight?
No, you don't lose any weight with it.
Oh, you don't lose any weight when you get short?
I assume not.
I thought it was like you proportionally shrink down.
That's one way to look at it, but technically, according to the wording of the question, you either gain the weight or you lose the height. There's nothing else that happens.
Okay, you're right. Being 15 inches shorter and still weighing what I weigh now, I would be significantly fatter.
Yeah, right.
Than if I just gained 100 pounds now. So yeah, I guess it depends.
It depends.
Another scenario.
I think it's almost not a choice if you don't say you proportionally shrink.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe you proportionally shrink.
Yeah, I was like, this is another one where I need more information. If I proportionally shrink.
I think we're going to say you do because it's not even a question.
Okay.
Otherwise.
All right, yeah.
Would you rather, every time you have an orgasm, the song All Star by Smash Mouth plays, or B, every time the song All Star by Smash Mouth plays, you have an orgasm?
Your favorite song.
It is. It was in middle school, at least. And yes, it will be audible to anyone in the same room as you.
Okay, well, that's only going to be you for me. And I think you would be okay with that. So I'm going to go with every time I have an orgasm All-Star plays over the alternative, because do you know how often you hear that song in public? I don't want to be orgasming in public. That's embarrassing.
It would change how you view Shrek so badly.
Yeah.
You would be getting some weird connections in your brain.
That is a very weird one, but I'm gonna, yeah. What about you?
Same, very much. I don't need to orgasm every time Shrek starts up. That's my whole logic behind it. It's a very common song to use in things.
Since you hear it every time you orgasm, would it start a like Pavlov connection in your brain? and then it results in the other one where every time you hear it, you start orgasming because you're like,
I
that's
don't
the
know
orgasm song.
I think it would definitely make some connection that I don't really want in either scenario, but here we are.
Wow, Reddit's weird.
Reddit is very weird. I didn't even pick the weirdest ones. Would you rather be able to play any instrument perfectly or speak every language?
That is tough. I think I'd go with speak every language.
Mm-hmm.
Playing every music perfectly, I feel like you'd have to like turn that into your career and be a musician, and that would be your career, and that sounds kind of tough still.
If you speak every language perfectly, you think you wouldn't turn that into a career? You would be like the most important person in the UN.
That's true, but I feel like you'd make more money doing that maybe.
I don't know. They're both pretty well-paying jobs, probably.
See, even if you play musical instruments perfectly, that does not translate necessarily to success
I guess so.
in being a famous, rich musician.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas if you speak every language perfectly, you can always find a job, a well-paying job for your skills.
I think it'd just be fun to be able to travel to any country.
Yeah, it would be cool to be able to travel to any country and be able to perfectly communicate.
You could become Jason Bourne.
But I do also feel like playing any musical instrument would be really fun.
That would also be fun.
You could pick up bagpipes and be like, yeah! Just go!
Yeah.
Pick up a hurdy-gurdy, pick up a sitar. You could be your own band, like a really weird band.
Yeah.
With all the most weird instruments.
You would have the best YouTube channel if you just played every instrument. You cut yourself into all the little corners of the thing, playing every instrument. I don't know. That'd be fun, too. I think I still want to talk to anyone, anytime, but...
Yeah, I do think the language one is more useful, but instruments would be very fun.
Yeah, they're both pretty good.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's all we got for this week. Thank you for playing Would You Rather with us. Let us know in the comments which ones you would rather do.
Later, All-Stars. Okay, I'm gonna stop. Where's the mouse? Don't let me keep doing this, Kristie. You could have stopped me at any point.
Oh, no, I don't stop you from doing anything.